Since blocking in Skullgirls depends on holding the control stick away from your opponent, their block direction switches when you switch sides with them. So, if you quickly switch sides with your opponent before attacking, you can trick them into holding the wrong direction and blast through their guard. This is a cross-up. But, because you usually have to jump to side swap, and jumping over somebody doesn't let you turn around until you land, you'll have to bring an attack that hits behind you. Some characters, like Philia, have fierce attacks that do this well, making an air dash cross-up easy to convert into a powerful combo. Other characters, like Misfortune, are more limited. Normally, Nadia's cross-ups are rather weak. Her jab does low damage and often doesn't allow for a follow-up. And her aerial axe kick is quite slow, making it easier to block, and takes a while to land, making her easier to push block away before she can move again. Since her jumping heavy attacks don't hit behind her, she can't really use them to create openings by side switching. Wait, did she just turn around during an air dash? How do you do that? Let's investigate this. The Skullgirls tutorial is pretty thorough, but it's not 100% comprehensive. Hopefully I can help fill in some of the gaps. Today, we're talking about Super Jump Autocorrect and SJIAD. The title says it all, really. In Skullgirls, jumping forces you to face the direction you were facing when you left the ground until you land. But a super jump will force you to face the opponent as soon as you start an attack, whether they're in front of you or behind you. This doesn't come up super often, but it's worth keeping in mind. Remember Fortune. She can use this to improve the beefiness of her cross-up buttons by air dashing from a super jump instead of a normal jump. Now, it sounds like this would result in a higher air dash, since super jumps go higher than regular jumps. However, you can usually air dash low enough that the difference is pretty minor. This will take some practice, though. It's easy for a super jump instant air dash to accidentally give you a super, because many supers use double punch as their input. And the non-button input for SJIAD takes some practice and can sometimes result in an accidental special move. You also have to delay your button a bit. Attack too early and you won't turn around. You have to push the button after you're already behind the opponent. It's not hard, it just takes some adjustment. Air dashes aren't necessary for this to work, either. For example, Umbrella can use her jumping light kick as a sort of improvised movement option, but this only allows her to travel forward, limiting her aerial mobility. But by super jumping, she can turn around and go back to the same side with jumping light kick, theoretically allowing her to fake a cross-up, typically using an assist. This also works with Cerebella's glide, which can get extra greasy when you factor in her elbow drop. Not all moves autocorrect the same way. Normal attacks and air throws will only autocorrect during a super jump. Double jumps, special moves, and supers will always autocorrect, even from a normal jump. Notice that, for quarter circle forward, Valentine considers forward to be the direction I am facing and not towards my opponent. In this case, jumping over and throwing a fireball requires a down right input because Val is facing right, even though she turns around and throws the fireball to the left. Because flight is a special move, Painwheel will turn around to face her opponent when she switches sides, even if she doesn't attack. Lastly, air dashes will never autocorrect, even from a super jump. You'd have to cancel an attack into the air dash if you want to turn around. Anytime a setup involves jumping over your opponent, if you can set up a super jump instead, you can often open up new mix-up opportunities, or improve the ones you already had. Many of these are very niche and technical, and I'm not an expert in everybody. A lot of this changes between characters and requires some experimentation. I rarely hear about this, so it would be cool to see it explored some more. With Annie still kinda fresh, Umbrella still in development, and at least Black Dahlia +1 on the way, I think it's good to keep this in mind. That's really all I have today. Peace.